Hello, my name is Marie Aragon. I'm doing leadership book review on Fierce Leadership. First thing I want to talk about is about the author. Author Susan Scott. She was the founder of Fierce Inc. She's helped multiple Fortune 500 companies develop leadership for them. She does global training for clients like Yahoo, Starbucks, BP, Cisco, Lego, and many others. She's a national bestseller for Fierce Conversations. For achieving success at work and in life, one conversation at a time. She has over a decade of experience with Fortune 500 companies, so a lot of what she's based her theory on is from working with these Fortune 500 companies to develop the best leadership skills. So just want to talk about her purpose and target audience. Her business model is called Fierce Leadership, and it's basically she also used something called the squid eye. So spotting the practices that are holding you back and being effective in a different way. She wants to replace those practices that are holding you back and improve your performance, improve also your pleasure and what you're doing, and really helping you get results from this. And target audience is leadership team or executive management. Really, leadership team is from the very maybe first week of management to someone who's very senior as a CEO who's been doing management for, let's say, 40 years. So Fierce Practice 1, she talks about a 360-degree anonymous feedback to 365 face-to-face feedback. And so simple rules for her is really staying current with the feedback every day and not it being like a one-time thing. Doing it face-to-face, not email. And giving feedback as soon as possible. She wants to make sure that you're addressing it right then and there, not just waiting. And then including praise, because it's just as important as criticism. And then own your own comments. That means like really meaning what you say and also taking it, that once it comes out of your mouth, that's what's going to be heard and understood. So she really talks about practicing a squid eye. And it means you could see the disadvantage that other people cannot always see. So you're looking for maybe something that is like you're looking for tells and things that people would not normally. It'd be like finding the truth and really being a selective and efficient information gatherer. So steps for 365 face-to-face. You'll see this recur in all the other chapters as well, is you're going to want to prepare yourself. You want to clarify your information. You want to clarify, really prepare your opening statement, name the issues that you may be having, and select the examples that you want to illustrate the specific behavior. Then you're going to prepare others. You're going to want to have them understand before. It doesn't have to be exact and laid out, but kind of give an idea of what you're going to go over with them. And then you're going to have to just do it. Have the conversation. Not, 2 months from now or a month from now. Do it then. Do it that day. Make sure that there's not a gap in conversation. And then once you have the conversation with them, you're going to want to debrief. You want to talk about and make sure you guys are on the same page and you guys understand what came out of the meeting. And then you want to do it again, but only better. Fierce Practice 2 is from hiring for smarts to hiring for non-smarts. For smart heart. So really, if you're like practicing squid eye, you want to stay away from these. And really, there's reasons why maybe your loyal customers are leaving or the margins are shrinking. You really want to hire people that are accountable, authentic, collaborative, solution-oriented, change agents. So again, you're going to want to prepare yourself and prepare others simultaneously, meaning your team. You're going to want to just do the interview. You want to do a phone interview first, and then you want to bring them in for an interview as well as have them meet your team. You want to get feedback and make sure they want that person, they're going to be a right mix for them. And then after you do the interview, you're going to want to debrief with your team and then do it again, but only better. Right, so Fierce Practice 3, from holding people accountable to modeling accountability and holding people able. Thought this really was good. Again, you're going to want to practice the squid eye. You'll see maybe a lack of productivity. There's not a lot a lack of, there's not a lot of clarity, so you get a lot of confusion. You see some organizations, they have tunnel vision, and that's really unsustainable, right? So again, now when you want to prepare yourself, you want to, what is the accountable context? And what evidence do you have that you're looking at to talk to this person or group about? So you want to look at the context, and then the evidence, like I said, and then you want to know the emotions behind. What does it do? What does it do to the organization? How does it make you feel? How will it make others feel? And what kind of behavior has changed from this? What is your behavior? And also, what do you see the behavior of others? And then what results because of this problem is happening, and what can you do to change? So again, before you meet with them, you want to kind of prepare your team, what you're going to talk about, and then you're going to do it. You're going to have the conversation, you're going to meet with the team, and then once you kind of go around everything, you're going to want to debrief again, and then do it again, but only better, as she says. 4, you want to, it's about employee engagement to actually engaging employees. So there's a lot of programs and ideas that you want to do, but how are you really going to engage your employees? Are they tuned in, or are they just filling out what they need to fill out just to get by? So you're going to want to practice the squid eye again. You want to see, is there a diverse base of people? Is there necessary conversations happening? And are you behaving like a global company, or are you behaving like a local one? And then remember, not every person is going to be the same way, so engaging them is not going to be the same way as well. So again, you want to prepare yourself. You're going to prepare others. Make sure you send out pertinent information to the group before this happens. So they call it a beach ball meeting. So you want to talk about the issues. What is significant because of this issue, the ideal outcome, relevant background information, and what has been done up to this point, and options that are being considered, and the help that you're going to need from the group. So you want to prepare them again about the meeting, and then you're going to have the meeting. You're going to talk through, really get everybody's feedback. Everybody's going to have different feedback. You have to be open for it. And then afterwards, you're going to debrief, gather information. If there's any outliers that need to be talked about, then you will assign those, or people will help that accordingly. And then you're going to want to do it again, only better, until it's a refined process. Fierce practice 5, customer centricity, customer connectivity. You're going to want to practice the squid eye again. So it's a lot of companies look at client centricity. Instead of really having a connection to them, they're more focused on only their needs, not giving them really a full, not really a connection, but just basically giving them information or giving them what they want, and that's not always the best solution. So really it's about credibility, reliability, and intimacy, right? Self-orientation out the door. So credibility is about 20%, reliability is about 20%, but really the key factor is that intimacy, that 60%. Really knowing them on a different level rather than just business. So you want to identify the issues, clarify any issues. You want to determine the current impact the issue is causing, and then determine that future impact. What is going to happen if we keep doing this the same way? And then you want to examine an individual contribution to the issue, whether it be what you guys are doing, and holding everybody accountable, and really describing the ideal outcome. And then you want to make sure you commit to action, and then after that, offer suggestions. So fear 6, really legislative optimism to radical transparency. So really having, looking at the truth, and really knowing the problem. There's a lot of problems, but sometimes people don't want to speak about it, because the more they speak up, the more they're on the line of being in trouble. So really being a transparent organization. They state something called legislative optimism, which is bad. So legislative optimism is basically you only want to give the information, never the bad, so nothing actually really gets solved. What you really want is radical transparency. What's good, that's good. You want everybody to know the outcomes. You want to give everybody the full view of it, of reasons why we do it. So my analysis is, I really thought the strengths were, she did comparison models between her leadership style and maybe the old way that we see now. She was able to show how you can overcome your defects in leadership, very simple, logical ways. And also she had a great sense of humor, engagement of the reader. I thought some of the stuff, the squid eye, that was a good, example. I would have never thought of squid eye, but really honing in on things that you couldn't see, but it was in front of you. I did see just a few shortcomings on the book. I would say there some of the things I do normally, so I wouldn't have expected them to be wrong, but I would love to see some data behind that, saying how that did not help the organization. And she only seemed to have opinions from the leader's side. She didn't have many information from the customers or employees, and so it really had this triangular understanding of all three, and not just one side. And I believe she met her objectives of explaining her fierce model leadership. She highlighted practices that have been holding back later, and was able to replace those practices with fierce leadership models. I would highly recommend reading the book. I found it very engaging. I thought it was humorous, and it does show a very logical business approach to changing the things you currently do. And I think it actually speaks to every level. I think it's great because it speaks to someone who's just starting their career in management, and also for someone that is a CEO. These are my references. Thank you very much. I appreciated, had a good time doing this, and we'll see you soon. Take care.